First contact. Unexpected visitors. The day Earth changed forever began like any other. Dr. Samantha Chen sipped her coffee, bleary-eyed, as she scanned the latest data from the Deep Space Monitoring Station. The rhythmic beeping of equipment filled the control room, a comforting white noise that had long ago faded into the background of her consciousness. Suddenly, an alarm blared, jolting Samantha fully awake. Her eyes widened as she took in the readings on her screen. "This can't be right," she muttered, fingers flying across the keyboard as she double-checked the data. But there was no mistake. An object of immense size had appeared in Earth's orbit, seemingly out of nowhere. It defied all known laws of physics, having materialized without triggering any of their long-range detection systems. Samantha's hand trembled as she reached for the red phone, a direct line to her superiors. "Sir," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, "I think you need to see this." Within hours, the news had spread across the globe. Grainy images of the alien ship dominated every screen, its sleek, otherworldly design unlike anything humanity had ever conceived. Panic gripped cities worldwide as people grappled with the reality that we were not alone in the universe. Military forces around the world scrambled into action, missiles armed and fighter jets patrolling the skies. But the alien vessel remained motionless, a silent sentinel watching over the planet. As days passed without any sign of aggression from the visitors, world leaders convened an emergency summit. In a rare display of global unity, it was decided that a team would be assembled to attempt first contact with the aliens. Dr. Chen found herself at the heart of this historic endeavor. Her expertise in astrophysics and her role in the initial discovery made her an obvious choice. Joining her were diplomats, linguists, and military personnel from various nations, each bringing unique skills to the team. Among them was Major Jack Harper, a decorated Air Force pilot with a reputation for thinking outside the box. As the team prepared for their unprecedented mission, Jack approached Samantha during a brief break. "So, Doc," he said, a hint of a smile playing on his lips despite the gravity of the situation, "any theories about our new neighbors?" Samantha shook her head, her eyes distant. "Nothing that fits with what we know about the universe. Their technology. It's beyond anything we can comprehend." Jack nodded, his expression turning serious. "Let's hope they're friendly, then, because if they're not..." He didn't need to finish the thought. They both knew that if the aliens harbored ill intentions, Earth stood little chance against such advanced technology. As the team made final preparations, a tense silence fell over the launch facility. The chosen emissaries would be transported to the alien ship via a specially modified space shuttle, equipped with every conceivable tool and instrument they might need for first contact. Samantha felt the weight of history on her shoulders as she donned her spacesuit. Billions of lives hung in the balance, the fate of humanity potentially resting on the outcome of this mission. As the shuttle lifted off, carrying Earth's representatives towards the unknown, Samantha couldn't help but marvel at the alien ship growing larger in the viewport. Its surface seemed to shimmer and shift, defying easy description or analysis. "Beautiful, isn't it?" Jack's voice crackled through her helmet's comm system. "Terrifying," Samantha replied. "But yes, beautiful too." As they approached the massive vessel, a section of its hull began to transform, revealing what appeared to be a docking bay. The shuttle's pilot, guided by an unseen force, brought them in for a perfect landing. Heart racing, Samantha stood with her teammates at the shuttle's airlock. Whatever lay beyond would change the course of human history forever. With a hiss of equalizing pressure, the door slid open. The alien interior was a marvel of organic curves and pulsating lights. And there, waiting for them, stood beings that defied easy description. Vaguely humanoid, yet unmistakably alien. One of the creatures stepped forward, raising a limb in what seemed to be a gesture of greeting. Then, to the astonishment of the human delegation, it spoke in perfect English. "Welcome, children of Earth. We have been waiting a long time for this moment." Samantha exchanged glances with Jack and the rest of the team. Their mission had only just begun, and already it had exceeded their wildest expectations. As they stepped forward to meet their alien hosts, none of them could have predicted the monumental challenge that lay ahead. A challenge that would push humanity to its limits and beyond. The Galactic Challenge. The alien beings, who called themselves the Zarkari, led Earth's representatives through corridors that seemed to pulse with life. Samantha's scientific mind raced, trying to categorize and understand everything she saw, while Jack remained alert, his military training evident in his cautious stance. They arrived in a vast chamber that appeared to be a command center. Holographic displays flickered with information in an alien script, and at the center stood an imposing Zarkari who introduced himself as High Elder Vexthor. "We have observed your species for many of your Earth years," Vexthor began, his voice resonating with a strange harmony. "Your potential is great, but so too are the challenges that lie ahead." The human delegation listened in rapt attention as Vexthor explained the reason for their visit. A cosmic threat loomed on the horizon, a voracious, planet-consuming entity known as the Void. This ancient force had already devoured countless civilizations across the galaxy, and it was approaching the Milky Way. "We are part of an alliance of species," Vexthor continued, "united in our efforts to stop the Void. But we need fresh perspectives, new ideas. We need humanity." The revelation stunned the Earth's representatives. They had prepared for many scenarios, but not this, an invitation to join an interstellar alliance to save the galaxy. "Why us?" Samantha asked, her scientific curiosity overcoming her awe. "Surely there are more advanced species that could help." Vexthor's expression shifted in what might have been a smile. "Advanced technology alone is not enough to defeat the Void. It adapts, learns, and overcomes. What we need is the unpredictability and creativity that your species possesses in abundance." Jack stepped forward, his voice steady. "With all due respect, how can we be sure this isn't some elaborate test? Or worse, a trick?" Instead of taking offense, Vexthor seemed pleased by the question. "Caution is wise, Major Harper. We do not ask for blind trust. We offer proof." With a gesture, Vexthor activated a holographic display that filled the chamber. The humans gasped as they witnessed the awesome and terrible power of the Void. Entire solar systems vanishing into an all-consuming darkness. "The challenge we face is immense," Vexthor continued. "To earn your place in the Alliance and help save not just your world, but countless others, you must prove your worth." He explained that each potential member of the Alliance was given a complex problem to solve, a problem that had stumped even the most advanced civilizations. Earth's challenge involved creating a sustainable energy source powerful enough to fuel defenses against the Void, yet safe enough not to destabilize the fabric of spacetime. "You have one Earth year," Vexthor declared. "Success means joining us in the stars. Failure, we cannot protect those who cannot protect themselves." The gravity of the situation weighed heavily on the human delegation. They were being offered a chance to leap forward technologically by centuries, perhaps millennia. But the price of failure was extinction. As they prepared to return to Earth with news of this galactic challenge, Samantha pulled Jack aside. "This is insane," she whispered. "How can we possibly solve a problem that has stumped civilizations far more advanced than ours?" Jack's eyes gleamed with determination. "That's just it, Doc. We're not like them. We think differently. Maybe that's exactly what's needed." Back on Earth, the news of the alien ultimatum spread like wildfire. Initial panic gave way to a surge of global cooperation, unlike anything seen before in human history. Scientists, engineers, and thinkers from every nation came together, pooling resources and knowledge in a race against time. Samantha found herself at the head of an international task force, working tirelessly to unravel the mysteries of the alien technology they'd been permitted to study. Jack, much to his own surprise, became a key liaison between the scientific community and world governments, his unique blend of military pragmatism and out-of-the-box thinking proving invaluable. Months passed, and progress was frustratingly slow. Traditional approaches to energy generation proved woefully inadequate for the scale required. Exotic theories involving dark energy and quantum fluctuations showed promise but remained maddeningly out of reach. As the deadline loomed closer, tensions rose. Some nations, fearful of failure, began to advocate for a preemptive military strike against the Zarkari ship. Others proposed pouring resources into planetary evacuation plans, hoping to preserve at least a fraction of humanity. Samantha worked herself to exhaustion, poring over data and running simulation after simulation. Jack worried about her, often bringing her food and forcing her to rest. "We can't save humanity if you work yourself to death," he chided gently one late night in the lab. Samantha smiled weakly. "I know, but every time I close my eyes, I see that void swallowing worlds. We have to succeed, Jack. We have to." With just 2 months left before the deadline, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source. A young graduate student named Aisha Patel, working on a seemingly unrelated project involving bioluminescent algae, made a discovery that would change everything. Aisha's research into the way certain deep-sea creatures produced light led to insights into energy transfer at the quantum level. When combined with the alien technology they'd been studying, it opened up entirely new avenues of exploration. Suddenly, the impossible seemed within reach. As Samantha's team raced to develop a prototype based on Aisha's discovery, a new sense of hope spread across the globe. Humanity stood on the brink of either its greatest triumph or its final days. As the Zarkari's deadline approached, Earth prepared to present its solution. The fate of not just their world, but potentially the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. Samantha, Jack, and their team knew that the real test was yet to come. They had a theory, a prototype, but would it be enough to save them all from the encroaching void? Human ingenuity unleashed. With only weeks remaining before the Zarkari's deadline, Earth's finest minds worked tirelessly to refine Aisha's breakthrough into a viable energy source. The pressure was immense, but so was the sense of unity and purpose that had gripped the planet. Samantha barely slept, her days and nights blurring together in a haze of equations, simulations, and prototype testing. Jack had taken on the role of her unofficial protector, ensuring she ate and rested when she forgot to do so herself. "You know," Jack said one evening as they shared a quick meal in the lab, "I never thought I'd see the day when the whole world came together like this." Samantha nodded, her eyes still fixed on a data readout. "It's amazing what we can accomplish when we have no choice but to work together." Their prototype, dubbed the quantum flux generator, was a marvel of human ingenuity and alien technology. It harnessed the energy of quantum fluctuations, amplified through a lattice structure inspired by bioluminescent algae. In theory, it could produce near-limitless energy without destabilizing spacetime. But theory and practice were two very different things. As the day of presentation approached, final tests revealed a critical flaw. The energy output was unstable, spiking dangerously at random intervals. If not corrected, it could lead to catastrophic failure, exactly the kind of disaster they were trying to prevent. Panic set in among the team. They had come so far, only to fall at the final hurdle. Samantha refused to give up, working around the clock to find a solution. But as the hours ticked by, despair began to creep in. It was in this darkest hour that an unlikely hero emerged. Carlos Mendoza, a janitor who had been quietly observing the scientists at work, approached Samantha with an idea. "Excuse me, Dr. Chen," he said hesitantly. "I couldn't help overhearing about your problem. It reminds me of something I used to see when I worked on oil rigs." Intrigued, Samantha listened as Carlos described a technique used to stabilize pressure in deep-sea drilling operations. Though the contexts were vastly different, something in his explanation sparked an idea in Samantha's mind. With renewed energy, she raced back to the lab, dragging the confused Carlos with her. For the next 48 hours, Samantha, Jack, and the team worked feverishly to implement a modified version of Carlos's suggestion into the quantum flux generator. As the deadline loomed, they prepared for one final test. The tension in the lab was palpable as Samantha initiated the startup sequence. Everyone held their breath as the generator hummed to life. Seconds ticked by, then minutes. The energy output remained stable. A cheer erupted in the lab. They had done it. Humans, using a combination of cutting-edge science, alien technology, and simple practical knowledge, had solved a problem that had stumped far more advanced civilizations. As news of their success spread, celebrations broke out around the world. Humanity had earned its chance to join the Galactic Alliance and face the threat of the void. The day of presentation arrived. Samantha, Jack, and a select team, including Aisha and Carlos, boarded a shuttle to the Zarkari ship. The quantum flux generator, now stable and functioning perfectly, was carefully transported with them. High Elder Vexthor and a council of alien representatives awaited them in the grand chamber. Samantha stepped forward, her voice steady as she explained their solution. "We present to you the quantum flux generator," she began, her words translated in real time for the alien audience. "It harnesses the fundamental energy of the universe itself, amplified through a biomimetic lattice structure." As she delved into the technical details, Samantha could see the alien representatives leaning forward, their interest piqued. When she explained how they had overcome the stability issue, using a principle derived from deep-sea drilling, murmurs of surprise rippled through the chamber. Vexthor's expression was unreadable as he approached the generator. "A truly innovative solution," he said, his voice tinged with what might have been admiration. "But the true test lies ahead. We must see it in action." With a gesture, Vexthor activated a massive holographic display. It showed a distant star system, one directly in the path of the approaching void. "If your device can power our defensive systems to protect this world, you will have proven your worth beyond doubt." Samantha exchanged glances with her team. This was more than they had prepared for, but they knew it was a challenge they had to accept. With steady hands, she began the process of integrating the quantum flux generator with the Zarkari systems. As the generator powered up, the alien technology came to life in ways they had never seen before. Shields of unimaginable strength enveloped the threatened planet. Weapons of incomprehensible power stood ready to repel the void. For a tense moment, nothing happened. Then, at the edge of the system, a darkness began to encroach. The void had arrived. What followed was a battle unlike anything humanity had ever witnessed. The void threw itself against the shields, probing for weaknesses. But powered by human ingenuity and determination, the defenses held firm. Hours passed, feeling like an eternity to the watching humans and aliens alike. Finally, impossibly, the void retreated. For the first time in recorded history, it had been repelled. A stunned silence fell over the chamber, broken by Vexthor's solemn voice. "Humanity has not only proven its worth, but has given hope to the galaxy. Welcome, children of Earth, to the Alliance of Stars." As the realization of their achievements sank in, Samantha felt a mix of exhaustion, pride, and overwhelming responsibility. They had succeeded beyond their wildest dreams, but she knew this was only the beginning. The real challenge, saving the galaxy from the void, still lay ahead. Jack placed a hand on her shoulder, his voice low. "We did it. Sam, we really did it." Samantha nodded, her eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the saved planet. "We did," she replied. "And now the real work begins." As the human team prepared to return to Earth with news of their monumental success, they knew that life for every person on their planet was about to change forever. Humanity was stepping onto the galactic stage, ready to face challenges and wonders beyond imagination. The dawn of a new era had arrived, powered by human creativity, determination, and the unexpected brilliance found in the most unlikely places. Trial by fire. The euphoria of Earth's initial success was short-lived. As humanity began integrating into the Galactic Alliance, the true scale of the threat they faced became apparent. The void was not a singular entity, but a complex, adaptive force that seemed to learn from each encounter. Samantha, Jack, and their team found themselves at the forefront of a desperate race against time. The quantum flux generator had proven its worth, but it was clear that energy alone wouldn't be enough to stop the void. They needed to understand it, to find its weaknesses. Months passed as Earth scientists worked alongside alien counterparts, sharing knowledge and pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. The learning curve was steep, and frustrations ran high as cultural and technological gaps became apparent. "I never thought I'd say this," Jack muttered one day, rubbing his temples, "but I miss the days when our biggest problem was figuring out the alien coffee machine." Samantha smiled wryly, understanding his sentiment all too well. The pressure was immense, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Their efforts were put to the test sooner than anyone had anticipated. A distress call came from a distant outpost on the fringes of Allied space. The void had been spotted approaching a populated system, home to billions of sentient beings. The Alliance scrambled to respond, with Earth's team taking a key role in the defense strategy. Their quantum flux generator technology had been rapidly adapted and improved upon, integrated into the core of the Alliance's most powerful warships. As they approached the threatened system, Samantha felt a knot of anxiety in her stomach. Theoretical knowledge was one thing, but this would be her first time seeing the void up close. The scene that greeted them was chaos. The void moved like a living shadow, tendrils of darkness reaching out to engulf entire planets. Alliance ships engaged in a desperate battle, their weapons seeming to do little more than irritate the cosmic horror. "It's adapting," Samantha realized with growing horror. The void was changing its structure in response to their attacks, becoming more resilient with each passing moment. Jack, who had insisted on being part of the mission, turned to her with determination in his eyes. "Then we need to adapt faster. What if we modulate the quantum flux generator's output? Create an energy signature it can't predict." It was a risky plan, but they were out of options. As the battle raged around them, Samantha and her team worked feverishly to recalibrate their technology. The ship shuddered under the strain as they pushed the generator beyond its designed limits. Just as it seemed they might succeed, disaster struck. A tendril of the void lashed out, striking their ship with terrifying precision. Systems failed across the board, and for a heart-stopping moment, it seemed as though all was lost. But in that moment of crisis, humanity's unique strengths shone through. While the alien crew froze in panic, Jack sprang into action. Drawing on his military training and sheer human stubbornness, he began coordinating emergency repairs. Samantha, meanwhile, had a flash of inspiration. The void's attack had caused a cascade failure in their systems, but in doing so, it had created an energy pattern she'd never seen before. Could this be the key to understanding the void's nature? With time running out and the ship falling apart around them, Samantha made a daring decision. She rerouted power from life support systems into the sensors, capturing as much data as possible about the void's energy signature. The gamble paid off. As the last of their power failed and emergency protocols kicked in, Samantha's instruments recorded invaluable data about the void's fundamental structure. The Alliance fleet, seeing the human ship in distress, rallied to their defense. In a daring rescue operation, they managed to drive back the void long enough to evacuate Samantha, Jack, and their team. As they watched from a safe distance, their crippled ship was consumed by the darkness. But the data they had gathered in those final moments would prove to be worth far more than any single vessel. In the aftermath of the battle, as the Alliance licked its wounds and counted its losses, Samantha pored over the captured data. What she found left her both excited and terrified. The void, she explained to a gathering of Alliance leaders, it's not just consuming energy and matter. It's rewriting the fundamental laws of physics in the areas it touches. The implications were staggering. The void wasn't just a threat to life, it was a threat to reality itself. But in understanding its nature, they had taken the first real step towards finding a way to stop it. As the meeting adjourned, Jack found Samantha staring out at the stars, lost in thought. "Penny for your thoughts, Doc," he asked, joining her at the viewport. Samantha sighed, her expression a mix of worry and determination. "We've made progress, Jack, but at such a cost, and we're still so far from a real solution." Jack nodded, understanding the weight of responsibility she carried. "True," he said, "but look how far we've come. A year ago, we didn't even know aliens existed. Now we're out here, fighting to save the galaxy. If anyone can find a way to stop this thing, it's us." Humanity's greatest strength has always been our ability to face the impossible and find a way through. As they stood there, looking out at the vast expanse of space, both Samantha and Jack knew that the greatest challenges still lay ahead. But they also knew that humanity, with its unique blend of creativity, resilience, and determination, had earned its place among the stars. Whatever the void might throw at them next, they would face it together, not just as humans, but as part of a united galactic alliance. The battle was far from over, but for the first time since this cosmic nightmare began, there was real hope. Humanity had proven its worth in the face of unimaginable adversity, and in doing so, had possibly changed the fate of the entire universe. A new era for humanity. In the months that followed the harrowing encounter with the void, Earth became a hub of frenetic activity. The data Samantha and her team had gathered proved to be the key to unlocking the void's secrets. Scientists from across the galaxy flocked to our planet, drawn by humanity's unique approach to problem-solving. Samantha found herself at the center of a vast interspecies research effort. The pressure was immense, but so was the sense of purpose. Every day brought new discoveries, new theories, and new hope. Jack, drawing on his military experience, took charge of coordinating Earth's defenses. As humanity's understanding of alien technology grew, so did our ability to protect ourselves. Cities across the globe now shimmered under energy shields, while orbital platforms stood ready to repel any threat. But the most significant development came from an unexpected source. Dr. Aisha Patel, whose work on bioluminescent algae had been crucial to the quantum flux generator, made a startling discovery. The void's ability to rewrite physics bore a striking resemblance to the way certain deep-sea creatures adapted to extreme pressures. "It's not destroying reality," Aisha explained to a rapt audience of human and alien scientists. "It's changing it to suit itself. If we can understand this process, we might be able to reverse it." This insight sparked a new direction in their research. Instead of trying to destroy the void, they began exploring ways to communicate with it, to understand its nature and purpose. As these efforts progressed, humanity continued to make its mark on the galactic stage. Earth's art, music, and culture spread across the stars, captivating alien societies. Our literature, with its themes of overcoming adversity and exploring the unknown, resonated deeply with species facing the threat of the void. Carlos Mendoza, the janitor whose practical knowledge had been crucial to stabilizing the quantum flux generator, became a symbol of humanity's unique strength. His story inspired a galactic movement celebrating the wisdom found in everyday experiences. A year after their first encounter with the void, Samantha and Jack found themselves back on the Zarkari ship, this time to present their findings to the Alliance leadership. "We believe we found a way to communicate with the void," Samantha began, her voice steady despite her nerves. "By creating a controlled quantum field that mimics its energy signature, we can essentially speak its language." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien voices, some skeptical, others excited. High Elder Vexthor raised a limb for silence. "This is an unprecedented approach," he said, his tone unreadable. "But if successful, it could change everything. You have the Alliance's full support." The next few weeks were a blur of preparation. A massive array of quantum flux generators was constructed in a remote star system, ready to create the largest controlled quantum field ever attempted. As the day of the experiment arrived, tension ran high. Fleets of Alliance ships stood ready, prepared for any outcome. Samantha, Jack, and their team took their positions at the control center, surrounded by the most advanced technology the galaxy had to offer. With a deep breath, Samantha initiated the sequence. The quantum field sprang to life, its energy signature a perfect match for the void's. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then, at the edge of their sensors, the void appeared. But instead of attacking, it seemed to pause, as if listening. "It's working," Samantha whispered, hardly daring to believe it. What followed was beyond anything they had imagined. The void responded, not with destruction, but with information. Vast streams of data poured through the quantum field, overwhelming their systems. As they began to decipher the information, a stunning truth emerged. The void was not a malevolent force, but a desperate one. It was the last survivor of a long-dead universe, consuming reality in a misguided attempt to recreate its lost home. Armed with this knowledge, the Alliance faced a new challenge: how to help an entity so alien, so vast, without sacrificing their own existence. It was humanity, with its long history of bridging divides and finding common ground, that proposed a solution. Using a network of quantum flux generators, they created a self-contained pocket universe, a new home for the void, where it could exist without threatening the rest of reality. The process of guiding the void into its new home was long and fraught with danger. There were setbacks and near disasters. But finally, after years of effort, they succeeded. The void was contained, the galaxy was safe, and a new era of peace and discovery dawned. As Samantha and Jack stood on the observation deck of an Alliance starship, watching the new pocket universe shimmer into existence, they reflected on how far humanity had come. "You know," Jack said, a hint of wonder in his voice, "when I joined the Air Force, I never imagined I'd end up helping to save the galaxy." Samantha smiled, her eyes on the stars. "And I never thought my research would lead to creating a new universe. I guess that's the beauty of being human. We never know what we're capable of until we're challenged." As they turned to leave, ready to face whatever new adventures awaited them, a message came through on the ship's comm system. Earth was calling. A new discovery had been made, one that promised to revolutionize interstellar travel. Samantha and Jack exchanged a glance, equal parts exhaustion and excitement. Their work was far from over. But that was okay. After all, pushing boundaries and exploring the unknown was what humanity did best. As their ship set course for Earth, they knew they were heading not just home, but toward humanity's next great adventure. The stars were no longer a distant dream, but a roadmap to our future. And that future, thanks to human ingenuity, determination, and compassion, looked brighter than ever before.